Well, good morning, everyone. Okay, so here we go, week one. You already know from EDUT 580 that you spent that entire course just chunking information and preparing your research paper. And I know you were nervous about it at first, and I know that you hit the capstone. Some of you, not all of you. Some people only have like two classes to go, and they're done. But most of you hit the capstone quite early, and you were nervous about that. And I don't want you to be nervous about it. In fact, I don't even want you to think about the word capstone. Educational research in the master's program, that should not be difficult for you at this stage in your career and in your education level. And you've all been doing a fantastic job, with the research, and your topics are very, very interesting. And as I told you, that EDUT 580 course, it's nice because you're doing the same assignment and you're chunking. It's one thing instead of doing all of these different things, which I actually prefer. So now we are moving on and are continuing on with our chunking. So the first thing about week one is hopefully, and I've said this several times, hopefully some of you took advantage or all of you took advantage of the Concordia Writing Lab. That is a great way to get feedback, to get edits for free, and have a clean set of eyes on your paper, and then it comes back to you, and man, you can just clean that up. So I can't say enough about using that. I would use it as much as you possibly can. And you definitely want to focus on your APA 7. Remember that the sample papers I shared with you in EDUT 580, and I'll put them up again for this course. But remember, that's APA 6. So another thing about the writing lab is if you're struggling with APA format, I know there's a lot of rules. And if you're not doing it all the time, it's easy to miss. It's easy to miss something. I miss things too. Still, you're working on something all of a sudden you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to alphabetize my references, and you have to fix it. So that's just part of editing. That's part of good editing. You have to look with fresh eyes again and again and again. So that's why I say that the writing lab's great to use, especially if you send it into them and say, hey, I just want you to check my APA 7 format. Um, I just had an email about a week ago from our dean actually reminding everyone, hey, this is the new APA 7, and I thought that was interesting. So I'm gonna give you a list of some of the APA things that I want you to remember, simple things that I want you to remember, and I'll put it up in Blackboard so you have it. So you're starting to work on chapter 2, and you'll notice that the way that this class is structured, it's pretty light the first few weeks. Okay, you've got your reading, and you should be reading your reflective practice guide to critical reflection. It's a great book, and it's got a lot of good insight into it. You should probably review your capstone handbook again. You know that you can find that in the Blackboard. You've also got your writing the literature review, a practical guide. So you want to make sure that you're staying on top of those readings because it will help you with your writing and with your research. Notice that week 1 and 2, there are recommended weekly tasks. That's recommended. I'm not forcing you. It's not like an assignment, but it is recommended because you want to stay on top of your time management. And especially now that we're going into the second semester, some of you are going back to school, some of you have more commitments, sports are coming back, those types of things. Really make sure that you watch your time management. You're going to have light weeks where it's not too difficult, and you're going to have weeks where things are due, and I don't want you to become overwhelmed. With your reflection journal, that is very self-explanatory, and there is a template that I've placed in the week 1 DB for you to make a copy and use. Please make sure that you are staying on top of your reflective journal and that you're not being uh, minimal in your responses. This is where you're showing me your brain, your reflection on things, your thoughts, your aha moments, or your struggles. Okay. There is not any specific way to write it. Just make sure that you look at the criteria within the reflection journal and follow that accordingly and be deep in your thoughts. Okay. You had 2 DBs this week, and most of you remembered to post your initial post on Thursday night. Please make sure that your initial post is posted on Thursday night and that your follow up posts are posted on Sunday. You'll have more feedback from me this time around. The first course, I was trying not to overwhelm you with too much, especially since you were pivoting into this course early. But now it's time for us to move forward and get this thing done. And you've already been doing a great job of that. So I don't see you having any struggles at all. You'll notice that also in week one, I've given you a look ahead, and I just wanted to read this to you. Your first assignment is due week 4, peer review of your chapter 2. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to be putting you into groups, and you are going to be giving each other feedback on your chapter 2, where you share and you read and you provide detailed reflective feedback to your peer. And so just know, I know that right now, this year is just, there's a lot going on. Usually I assign groups randomly, and I always think that it's good to hear from people that you might not necessarily work with on a regular basis or even know. But in this case, if you have somebody this time around, if you have somebody that you'd really like to work with, and it's going to be partners, okay, so two people. If you have somebody that you really enjoy working with, or that's at your same school site, or you're both, like, we have musicians in this class, we have language people in this class. If you're on along the same lines in what you teach or what you're studying, and you want to work together, I totally understand. You just need to email me and let me know, because I am going to set up the groups this week, like in the next couple of days. So if you have somebody in particular you would like to work with, please let me know immediately. And if you're open to trying new people, then I'm down with that too. Okay. All right. So I don't want to talk too much more. I'm already at 7 minutes. So let me just see if there's anything else that I want to go over with you right now at this moment. You should have done your readings for the week or be doing your readings on the weekend, which many of you do. Look over your recommended weekly tasks. Discussion board journal, you've already posted. Remember your follow up responses. Note that there will be times like this time where I will go in and give you points for your initial response and then go back and add your points in later. It's because I want to write specific notes to you immediately. So get used to that for this next 7 weeks, because you'll see 6 points, and then I'll add the 4 in later when you do your follow up responses. Please make sure that your follow up responses this time around are very deep and reflective. It's always nice to say, hey, loved your post. And none of you have been doing that. Everybody's been writing something. I'm just reminding you that discussion boards should be reflective, they should be in depth, because that's our conversation since we're not in a class together. Okay. All right. And then just make sure you do that look ahead. Click on assignment 1 and click on assignment 2 and look. But if you go to the submit assignments section, you're going to see that your first assignment is not due until your first main assignment is not due until week 4. Do not be like, oh, I've got time though, because you know what happens when you do that. Then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed. So use this time to continue to work. Use this time to build your chapter 2. Use this time to submit new work to the writing lab because you have the time. And make sure you stay on top of your discussion boards and your reflective journal entries. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and post those capstone papers again for you so that you have them. And I'm going to go ahead and post just an APA list of some things that we use often so that you just have that when you need it. Okay. And I want you guys to have a wonderful work week. And I will be putting up the week 2 video probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. So have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.